Do note that we are not saying that there is only fear. There is fear, of course, but just that there are more to fear. Are not the devastating events that continue to plague our deteriorating global economy indicative of the plight in which we find ourselves? Does the potential doom and gloom of the future evade your vision, my opponent? It is most unfortunate that my opponent believe otherwise, but be it resolved, we have more to fear than to cheer. Judges and audience, good day to you all. As the second speaker, I will be discussing how the blistering economic climate of the world has resulted in the offset of many other occurrences and why we ought to be fearful of such changes.
Point of information.
Not accepted. The Council on Hemisphere Affairs stated that Jamaica continues to be vulnerable of worldwide economic shocks, which have contributed to the fluctuating nature of its economy. The primary economic problems facing the Caribbean region include high internal debt, large trade deficits, swollen interest and inflation rates, chronically elevated unemployment levels, as well as low worker productivity. The Council further
information, my opponent.
Accepted.
Now, after a global economic recession,
my opponent is not over.
Isn't it easier to invest and more likely to gain a boom after a couple of years? Yes, we may fear the recession for 1 or 2 years, but isn't the boom a longer period? Isn't the boom more cheerful? Isn't that period lasting longer?
My opponent, we have more to fear in this current period than we have to cheer. And I will explain why we have more to fear in the future. The Council further mentioned that these poor economic conditions have resulted in political unrest and escalating gang violence. Now, what is funny about this? Can't you see that as time progresses, our worries are increasing and becoming unbearable, to answer your point of information? The Labour Market Information System.org.jm did a review of the Jamaican economy in 2009 to assess the damages of the global economic meltdown. The report revealed that the unemployment rate was 11.4%. This was an increase of 0.8% from the previous year. This is saying that an increasing number of households are being deprived of goods and services needed for their survival in the contemporary world. The above-mentioned website also highlighted that there was a decline in the Jamaican economy in terms of gross domestic product, experiencing a contraction of 2.7% during 2009. This was documented as being the second consecutive decline. In essence, there were declines of all goods and services produced in those years. Of all the industries in Jamaica, only only one industry and two sub-industries experienced growth during the years of 2008-2009. On January 8, 2009, CNBC.com posted a speech concerning the global economic meltdown by the President-elect of the United States, Barack Obama. The Commander-in-Chief stated that the recession which began in 2007 is a crisis the likes of which have not been seen since World War II. He further mentioned that many businesses are unable to borrow from financial institutions or to pay their employees. We see that these are the same problems facing Jamaica and the entire world. Many employees are made redundant due to financial constraints on the part of their employers. Lack of income will therefore make families unable to pay their bills and mortgage. Many workers are watching their life savings disappear, and many are uncertain of what future will hold. My opponents, this may be cheerful to you, but certainly not to these families. The next generation could be lost as more young adults are forced to
point of information, ma'am.
accept.
Let me remind the judges that of my first point of information that I stated, yes, a recession makes us fearful, but a recession leads to more investment, more business growth in the latter years.
This is not happening.
More to cheer.
This is not happening, and we don't see it in the near future. The next generation could be lost as more young adults are forced to forego dreams of pursuing tertiary education. This is the future we are talking about. As a potential university student, does this sound cheerful to you? The chance to train for the jobs of the future due to individuals being unable to increase and develop their skills and abilities is highly unlikely and a grave need of concern. Audience, an already dangerous situation would therefore become exacerbated.
Yes, why you listen to what you say?
Your second speaker stated, in this current period, to have in the mood connotes future. So yes, my opponents, now is important, but the mood makes provision for the future. A man builds a wooden house. The storm passes over and blows it up. The man now thinks to himself, I need a structure that can withstand the storm. So he builds a concrete house. The storm passes over and the house is still standing. Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, worthy opponents, a pleasant good afternoon to you. In the same way this man figured out that he needed a stronger structure and needed something to withstand the storm, the same way man has made major progress from downfalls. This is what I will speak on, and ultimately the mood. Be it resolved, we have more to fear than to cheer. I shall be speaking on three major areas: education, the media and technological faults, and environmental ills, global warming, showing how man has progressed far beyond these problems through self-correction. Now to education. I'm sure my opponents might be thinking to themselves, literally, literacy grades down, yada yada yada, but not to fear my opponents. Help is in progress. I am sure you must have heard representatives from the Ministry of Education on TV Day's current affairs program Orlando, and you must have watched primetime news a month ago, where now even basic school teachers have to go to college. Yes, my opponents teaching simple ABCs and 1, 2, 3, not require tertiary qualifications. Is this not something to cheer about? Is this not progress? The development of our children from a younger stage? But wait, there is more. Singularity Institute for Artificial Intelligence, quote, Singularity is the technological creation of smarter than human intelligence. Yes, judges, there are people working assiduously even at this moment to improve our intellectual capacity. How do I know that we are heading in this direction? The same source states, quote, there are several technologies that are heading in this direction, which if they reach a threshold level of sophistication, would enable the creation of smarter than human intelligence. Detected. Judges, is this not something to cheer about? How am I opponent? Don't you want to be smarter? Unless you are, as Jamaicans say, you know, have an ambition. As we draw to technology and media, I am sure my opponents now have these words bubbling in their heads. Cybercrimes, children watching overrated movies, but there have been major security measures put in place just to stem these crimes.
Does these major implementations bar children from still viewing these images?
In some way, my opponents, because if the Broadcasting Commission put a lock on TV, you can't watch the overrated movies. Parents are locked on most.
We are aware that
now, my opponents. Thank you very much. OneWireless.org states, quote, securing your wireless router is now the preliminary factor you must do right after you configure a setting. Yes, my opponent. Most, if not all, wireless routers have been secured to help stem cybercrimes. About children and the media, that is why Broadcasting Commission have put in place these new regulations. And that is not accepted. And that is why parents have parental locks on most technological devices nowadays. Enough about media and technology. Global warming now. I shall now once and for all declare that man has been working feverishly to put a stop on the impending problem of global warming. Judges, it is now law for auto companies to build their cars with more cleaner emissions. In an article by the New York Times titled EPA Clears Way for Greenhouse Gases, quote, auto companies, utilities and others tied to polluting emissions had long dreaded this day but generally reacted with caution, end quote. This shows the level of self-correction man has been doing in so much as to implement laws to prevent them from polluting the atmosphere. This is further supported by TopBits.com, a mechanical website. It states, quote, not accepted. Clean gas induction, commonly referred to as CGI, is a technology found in specific types of engines to reduce harmful environmental emissions and improve efficiency. So you see, judges, how man has improved in using these clean gases and even improved the efficiency of their product. The article further postulates that, quote, it should be noted that this technology is found in engines that run on either diesel or gas. So the buses that most of us traveling now is equipped with cleaner gases, and even E10 here in Jamaica. Before my final chair, I shall say that the mere fact that man has seen that they have done something and are finding solutions, self-correction, show that there is much to cheer about, even that we have the intellectual capacity to formulate the solutions. So my opponents, I implore you, be like the man I mentioned at the start of my speech. Reconstruct your arguments with the relevant materials, lest you be blown over by the storm. Cheers.
Mr. Clark.